Okay. Okay, guys, it looks like we are live, and I hope this audio sounds good. If it doesn't, someone please let me know. Hey guys, if you're watching this, I'd just like to thank you, and I'm going to do a live build of a model and of an exterior model. And first off, if you can hear me, can you like hit say something in the chat? And I'm just gonna welcome everyone here and maybe wait just a few minutes before we get started. If you maybe give me a thumbs up or something. Awesome, thank you, Russ Lee. All right, so what I'm gonna do today is I'm going to bring in this CAD file, which is just a first floor, a second floor. It's a residential plan, and I'm going to build a 3D model, the exterior of it. So we're going to kind of do this live. If you guys have questions, just comment, and I'll try to answer your questions as I'm doing this. And I'm going to break this whole thing up in two parts. I'm going to do the first part where I'm going to build the exterior model, and in the second part I'm going to bring this model into Lumion where I'll do the 3D rendering. So I hope that you guys find this video helpful. This is only my second time doing a live stream, so if you guys like it, let me know so I can keep doing these for you guys. So all right, let's go to SketchUp, and I'm working with SketchUp 2021, and let's go ahead and import our CAD file. And if you have any questions about importing, you have to have SketchUp Pro to import Autocad files. So if you look here, and here I have just a, SketchUp allows you to import several different types. If you don't see a DWG, just make sure you have DWG selected here, and boom, let's import that in. All right, there we go. So we have our CAD file in there. So next thing we're going to do is let's start modeling, and let's create a tag for my SketchUp layers. I just always call it walls. Put a little S there for SketchUp, and let me see if I could see a little bit more of my default tray here. There we go. And hopefully that's not blocking my wonderful face here. So, okay, cool. So we are in this S walls. All right. First, I'm going to start with, let's just create a shape, and we're going to make this into its own group and create my slab. And I'm going to use the rectangle tool just to block out the shape of the foundation, the concrete slab. How to master SketchUp? Well, it takes a little bit of time and practice and watching videos like this. I learned SketchUp first off when I was in university for architecture. And to be honest though, they really didn't teach me a whole lot. I just learned some very basic things. And when I actually started working for a residential architect, that is when I just really kind of took it to the next level of modeling and learning how to render with it. And man, it's been a great program. It's so easy to use, so fast. There's things like Revit and things like that Revit's it's a great program for construction documents, stuff like that, but it is not the quickest for building models. So maybe you can argue with me on that point. It just depends on your skill level with Revit, but for quick model building, I think SketchUp is probably the best software out there for it. Okay, so I almost got my whole slab here. So this is what I like to do. I like to separate my slab from my walls. So I'm going to drag this down about 6 inches for my slab. Let's go ahead and pop this back up. And I'm going to hide this for now because right now I'm just going to focus on building the walls. So I'm going to double click here, and again I'm going to use a rectangle tool just to block out my walls. I find this to be the quickest way to build all your walls, especially if you have a house that's all these 90-degree angles, you don't have many angled walls. This is just so fast. Yeah, the pencil tool wouldn't make sense if you could just do them like this. And it's important too, when you import your CAD file, that you're not importing all these unnecessary layers. You know, CAD files, especially when you're dealing with commercial documents, I mean, you're going to have hundreds of layers in your CAD file. And as you can see here, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers that I imported from my CAD file. So just want to make things easy to navigate around. Which university did I go to? So I'm in the great state of Texas, and I went to University of Texas at Arlington. That's where I have a 4-year degree in architecture, and prior to that I went to a local university in North Carolina. I used to live in North Carolina, and I have a 2-year degree, an associate degree in architecture as well. So so lots of schooling. I think I also have a minor in urban planning. So yeah, I mean, it was a great school. I mean, you know, you learn a lot of stuff, but you know, when you're dealing with softwares, universities don't go deep into teaching you how to master softwares. So if you go to a university thinking, oh, they're going to teach me AutoCAD, they're going to teach me all these things, and I'm going to be great at it. Well, not necessarily. They're going to teach you the basic principles of architecture and things like that. But they, at least this is the way they explain it at the university I was at. Software is always changing, so they kind of leave it up to the students to keep up with software trends and what's, you know, it's kind of like a tradesman. You know, you can show them how to use a specific tool to cut wood or whatever, but tools are going to change. So with architecture, tools are always changing for drawing. So, you know, AutoCAD, SketchUp, Revit, those are tools to draw. So that's kind of why they teach you how to draw, the concepts of drawing, the concepts of design, and the tools that you use are up to you. Okay, almost done here. How about you guys? Are you guys in school? Are you guys students? Are you guys actually practicing architecture right now? What's your status? And where are you guys located? Okay, so I'm about to, I think I have all these walls blocked out. And the way I like to check it is just by turning off that wall layer and kind of looking through it, making sure I don't have any unnecessary lines. The cleaner you can keep your drawing, the better. And let's see, so yeah, so here I have, and just to explain what you're looking at here. So here we have the front porch. This is kind of the entry gallery. We have a room here, some rooms over here. This is an open porch or rear patio, covered patio. Then we have our kitchen, prep kitchen. We have our garage and bath and closet. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn that off, and I know that this bottom floor is 11-foot ceilings, 11-foot walls. So let me offset that. So if you can see right there, boom, I just created all my walls in my first floor. Okay, just completed my associates in architecture. That's awesome. Russ Lee, I think I say your name, from St. Lucius. Awesome, man. Honestly, I feel like I learned more about drafting within my 2-year degree program than I learned in my 4-year degree program. Now, I learned different things in the 4-year program. I learned a lot more about architecture and kind of the concept of design, but at the associate degree, I learned more of the technical skill of drawing, which really helped me to land the job. Before I graduated, I was already working at a firm. So Vilvio, civil engineer from Mozambique. Awesome, man. That is pretty cool. Civil engineering is a whole nother game too. Civil engineering is, man, that's some technical stuff there. So awesome. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and select all this. I'm going to reverse the faces so that's all white. And that's important sometimes when you're dealing with some of these add-on programs, these add-on extensions. Sometimes it matters what face you're dealing with. If you're dealing with the the gray or the white, so they act differently. So it's a good habit to keep the surface that's exposed, that make that the white face. Okay, all right. So that's my first floor, and my second floor is over here. So let's move on to our second floor. And again, I'm just going to create a group for my slab. So we have to create the floor system first. I'm going to activate that group. And just a quick question for you guys. What do you guys use SketchUp for? Are you looking to do some residential houses, commercial, for civil engineering? What do civil engineers use it for? And I'm sure you could use it for anything, I would think. But okay, so that looks good for my floor system. And I'm going to go ahead and hide this and create my walls. And if you guys are watching this and liking it, man, remember to give me that like and subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Just to that helps me, make this channel grow. And I want to do more stuff on this channel, but obviously, need you guys' support for that. Okay, I'm gonna offset this 9 feet. So the upstairs is 9 feet. And I see I got 1 like there, man. I appreciate that. And let's see how we're doing here. Okay, so now that I have my first floor and my second floor, and I'm going to do something here. I'm going to grab my second floor CAD file, or the CAD drawing, the CAD lines here, make this into its own group, kind of break it away from all these other lines, because when you bring something in from AutoCAD, it puts it in one entire group. And I don't really want that at the moment, so let's do this. Unhide. All right, so I'm going to stack this on top of my second floor, and I think, yes, I had moved it over 200 feet, and so that's gonna put it right where it needs to be. Okay. All right, so now I have them stacked up where they need to be, and before I do my door and window openings, let's go ahead and create our roof. So our roof, we have I believe this is a 12-12 pitch roof, and here we have it dropping down a bit. So our roof is not just on one level, we have several different levels here, and it looks like it's about a 2-foot drop. And I'm just going to verify this is a 12-12 roof. And to look at what your roof pitch is, all you have to do is, let's go over 12 inches, and you come down to wherever it hits, and you measure that, and it's 1 foot. So 1 foot by 1 foot, that's a 12-12 roof pitch. All right. And my overhang. Oh, and we have a split overhang. Let's see. Yeah, we have a little. This is called a flared eave. So flared eave is so we have actually 2 different pitches on our roof. So. And this made the project just a little bit a little bit more challenging. Sometimes if the roof is just one, it makes it a lot easier. Let me see what the pitch of this is. And to do that, let's get 12. I'm going to go up here. Now I'm going to draw a line, and I need it to continue on this angle. And you can see with SketchUp, when it does that magenta line, it lets you know it's kind of reading off of a previous angle. So right there. So then I measure from here to there, and that says 812. So it's an 8 by 12 pitch. So we have two pitches here. We have an 812 and a 1212. So I'm going to do something. I was going to use I have a software from Valley Architects that I use to create roofs, and it's awesome software. I love it, but sometimes it's a little complicated when you have a specific situation like this. So I'm just going to create this roof. I'm just going to draw it, model it myself in SketchUp. So you actually don't use SketchUp for engineering, just love architecture works, so I do it mostly for fun. Well, that's awesome, man. SketchUp is fun. It's a great software. You can draw something that's realistic. It's going to be to actual true dimensions, and I deal a lot with clients that they want to see their kitchen, their bath remodels, or in this case, this is a complete exterior model for the neighborhood. The neighborhood, they require every house being built to have a 3D model included with their plans. So in this case, it's a necessity. They have to have a 3D plan, and they may not need the interior modeled in 3D, but if the client wants it, that's something I could provide them as well. Okay, so I'm basically creating a profile for my roof. And so one thing important here is the bearing point. So that's going to be right there. And let me see if I can grab this now. And let's see. So I have a roof system here. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. I just want that rotated 90 degrees. And then I want this point to line up right there. So we have a little situation where this wall is dropping down lower, 2 foot lower. So we have, we have one roof gable here and then the other there. So I'm just going to grab this. And the same thing on this side. Okay, so we got those two going on, and one thing I'm going to look at my CAD file. Here we can see what's going on with the roof. So we have, everything's 1212. We have a 1212 there, 1212 roof. We have a 412 lower, which is this roof down here above the front entry. And then we have a 612 in the middle, which is down here. We have a 612, 612, and a 1212 again. Okay, pretty straightforward roof situation going on. And here it looks like we have a different height situation. So, all right, let's go back to our SketchUp file. Okay, so I know I need one more 1212 roof over here. So this is going to go, I believe it was this one, right? Yeah, this one is 12, 12. Okay. And someone mentioned on one of my previous, the only other live stream I did about not using shortcut keys. And I really don't. I really kind of got into the habit of not using them. But in AutoCAD, I use them all the time. So I really need to probably get used to using shortcut keys just to save just that few seconds of time just to move over and select your tool. So I probably should do that. Probably should get better at that. And for this rear elevation, yeah, it looks like in the rear it's dropping as well. So that's this little bridged area in between these two gables. So it looks like it might be, let's see if it's doing that. I think it's going to be like this. All right. So I'm just wanting to verify that these line up, and they do. Good. Okay. So how are these going to work? So I'm just going to create this into their own group, explode it. Let's do some cleaning up. All right, there we go. So that's our first gable roof, and I need to extend the overhang a little bit too. Here we see it's overhanging on the gables at 6 inches. So I'll just go over here. But before I do that, let's go ahead and create this gable end wall. Do it on both sides. And okay, let's come out 6 inches, and I'm going to offset this little ledge 1 inch as well. All right, and we'll do the same on this back end. Okay, so how do you do this extension here where I need to get these two to connect? Well, I'm just going to grab this and let's see. Let's go ahead and break this. And I believe it was right on there, and no, something's not quite right there. Let's see what's going on. It should be lining up. Okay, let's see. Why 6 inches for the why 6 inches for the gable end? Well, there's no real reason that it has to be 6 inches. You know, you have a soffit here, which sometimes they're vented, but sometimes you can just have your vents in your roof gable. Some houses, the gable end, it's like 1 inch or just right on the wall. So it's just a style preference, you know, for the home. There's no reason why it can't be 2 feet or 6 inches or 1 inch. So it just depends on the style that you're working with for your home. That's the same thing with the eave overhang. This is so this is your eave overhang, and this is your gable end overhang. So the eave, the same thing. It could be 12 inches, which is fairly common, but it could be right on the wall as well. It could be 2 feet, 3 feet out. You know, just there's no rule that it has to be a certain size. It's just you know, just you have to have the proper ventilation for your attic, which that could be in your soffits, or it could be in your, you know, they have roof ridges that are vented. They have gable ends that could be vented. So there's different ways of getting around that. And this is not how I typically like to do my roofs, but just when they are the split pitch, it's a little bit of a hassle to you know, you have to, I feel like it's a little easier to do it like this to get it right. I want to work on my SketchUp workflow. I've been spoiled with Revit while in school. Well, you know what? I applaud you, man, for learning Revit. Revit's something I've always wanted to master, but I just never had the time to get into it. But in the work field, you know, a lot of companies are using Revit. It just does a lot of stuff. Revit for, you know, just not just for modeling, but when it comes to construction documents and, you know, that sort of stuff, it's a lot more capable. So a software like SketchUp, like I'm using now, is great for modeling. I think it's awesome for modeling. For construction documents, I don't think it's the best. I think it's, you know, to me it's more of a nuisance to try to dimension something. And they've created layout, SketchUp layout, which allows you to do some of that. And I'll create my elevations with layout every now and then. So instead of drawing them in CAD, but you have to make sure that you modeled your home correctly if you're going to use it for a construction document. What kind of mouse and keyboard do I use? Right now I'm just using let me see if I can show you it. See if it pops up. It's a Logitech, just a 3-button mouse, nothing fancy. My keyboard's a little cooler. I think it's the I think it's called the Black Widow. It's kind of a gaming keyboard. It has the soft linear touch keys, which I like and I don't like. I mean, it's cool. It lights up an LED. I show it to you, but I think it might mess up my webcam right now. And I actually been wanting to do a little video of it. You might be able to see it in some of my other video clips. But it's a cool keyboard. There's linear touch buttons and there's tactical touch buttons. Excuse me. I went with the linear because I didn't want loud clicky sounds when I'm doing live streams. However, I'll say that may not have been the wisest thing because they're so easy to click that, you know, I'm kind of heavy-handed. I kind of bang on my keyboard and when I'm pressing buttons. So a lot of times I'm just resting my hands and it's pressing buttons. So I kind of think maybe it would have been better to do with the tactical one where it's a little bit more clicky when you click buttons, you know, just because I'm kind of heavy-handed when I'm working. So, but yeah, I think it's called the Black Widow gaming keyboard or something like that. And yeah, it's a cool keyboard. Definitely an upgrade from what I had, which was just, you know, the keyboard that came with my computer. So yeah, that's what I'm working with. Okay, so I got this extra gable that I don't need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out. So this needs to extend out to there. Okay. Okay, there we have our gable end completed here. And kind of messed that up. Well, one way I can fix this, just drag this across again. Same thing over there on the other side. Okay. Let's see what we got here. All right, so one thing that's kind of good to do sometimes is select everything and hit intersecting faces with selection, and it kind of creates all these breaks where things are intersecting. So so it kind of makes cleaning up a little easier. So you don't have to do what I just did, where it deleted some lines, some surfaces I didn't want it to delete. But there we go. So we have our gable end here. And then I kind of got to do the same for this roof. And we can look at, yeah, I have a roof plan here. You kind of see what it's supposed to be doing. Okay. And we have a bit of offset here, so what I need to do is I need to just extend this part of, well, actually let's do this. So what would happen is my wall is going to be coming out a bit further than my roof right there. There we go. What's my screen resolution? That's a good question. I have to look that up. I'm not sure. Is there a problem with quality right now? Are you guys able to see it clearly? I would check that, but I don't want to. I don't want to slow down on this project. But I could get back to you on that. Let's see if I have I don't think so. Let me go to my CAD file. So we have a split pitch going on with our gables here, but the center we don't. The center is just going to be that, well, it is a 12-12, but I don't believe it's split. And let's see, 6-12, 6-12, and 12-12. I'm kind of studying this drawing as I'm working as well. So it is split in this back end. So you know what? I think I'm gonna have to use the same gable for. I was hoping I could use that Valley Architects for some of these roofs. I think I could possibly use it for the 6-12, and I'll show you how that works. It's really cool. I would have been able to do this roof a lot quicker if that was the case, but it's not. So it's crisp. That's cool, man. I want to say it's 1080 or 19 something. But I forgot. There's a little trick to how to get your screen to record correctly when you're doing something like this. Yeah, but I have to figure that one out to explain it correctly. But okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to extend this. I'm going to extend this out where it needs to go. Let's see. You know, guys, when you're doing a roof or almost anything in SketchUp and even AutoCAD, you know, there's like 10 different ways you can do things, and I think you just have to find out what's the quickest way for you to do it, and you know, work on that and get better at that. I look at some of these programs that these extensions, you know, for doing certain things, and sometimes the time it takes you to use the extension, you could have just modeled it yourself in SketchUp. So don't get hung up on using a bunch of extensions. You know, you may see several of them here, and really one of the main ones I use is from Valley Architects. You know, I use their roof builder, their stair builder. They have a wall cladding one that I like to use. So that's really one of the major ones that I use. I really don't use too many extensions when I'm modeling in SketchUp. Okay. All right, so we have our gable end there. And let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and do these roofs here. And we see here what's going on is we have the roof is extending down to cover this area here. So what we can do is I'm going to grab it and let's see. And you can use the arrow keys to kind of lock in when you're moving on an axis. And then I just tell it to, okay, I want to line it up right with that. And let's see. So if I come down, lock it on the axis, and it hit right there. And let's come here, and there we go. So that is, it's going to be on the same level as this other one here. And let's see, this should extend all the way across. Actually, let's connect these first before we do that. And guys, another thing, I'll just gonna go ahead and plug in my my website, SketchUpArchitect.com. You know, in case you want to take a couple of other courses that I have for learning SketchUp and modeling, and I have some on AutoCAD as well. You know, just for anyone that wants to kind of take it to the next level and learn a little bit about building some models and kind of the workflow. I know someone mentioned about learning, you know, improving their workflow. That's huge. I mean, you want a quick workflow to build models. You know, a lot of times, you know, we can get hung up on a certain aspect, and you know, before you know it, you spent an hour just circling around your model. But if you have a good workflow, you'll just speed through things and be able to, you know, provide your clients drawings, you know, pretty quick. Yeah, I've been doing this for several years now. I think I started in about 2012, more or less, when I started using SketchUp a lot. And actually, let me back up. No, I actually graduated from university in 2011, and I worked for this one company, and I started using SketchUp there just a little bit, but I enjoyed it so much, and I ended up, you know, any side project that I would do, I started using SketchUp to you know, do a model kind of like this for the house, and that got me another job working for a high-end architecture firm that does high-end luxury homes, because they wanted their client, you know, when you're dealing with these high-end homes, the client, they want to see their model in 3D. So I think the days of just doing 2D drawings and providing that for a client are kind of old. You know, no one wants, you know, clients kind of expect you to do a 3D model for them. So, and a lot of times they are willing to pay a little bit extra for it. So it's just something that, you know, it's not like a luxury. It's just something that people are expecting now. Okay. All right, so we have the roof there, and then we have this little piece that's extending here. And then we need to cut it here. And right now, you know, I'm not too concerned about the interior of this model. You know, for this client, they are just wanting the exterior done. So even while I'm modeling this, I'm not going to be too concerned about, you know, what's going on with the interior of it. The only thing I'm concerned about when it comes to the interior is that when I do my 3D view, I want to be able to see I want to be able. We're gonna see inside, so I'm gonna have to add some details to that. But I'm not gonna go into great detail with the modeling part of the interior. And I was a little bit off here, so I'm just adjusting that so that those surfaces line up. And let's go ahead and I'm going to place these in the same group. And then I should be able to erase if they're on the same surface, and that just look clean. There we go. All right, so I believe that's correct. And we're getting there. We are almost there with this roof. So we have another gable here. And guys, I know that this Saturday, you may have something to do, but if you want to save this video somewhere and come back to it later, and hopefully you get some value out of it about how I'm doing things, and maybe it works better for you. If you know a better way, hey, share that here too. I'm always looking for a better, quicker way to do things. We never stop learning, even after school. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and come out 6 inches for that gable end. And here too, we need to come out 6 inches. And I'm just adding 1 more inch to that. Okay. And remember, guys, if you do like this content, remember to give me that like the channel, like this, subscribe. I think you have to hit that bell icon so you're notified anytime a new video comes up, so that it gives you a notification. And let's see, so I think I have 11-foot ceilings here, and then the garage is dropping down to 10 foot, so we have a 1-foot drop. So the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to go ahead and break these lines, and this whole area is going to come down a foot. And if you didn't know, so I just hit 1 foot, right? So if I double click, if I double click, it's going to do the previous, it's going to push it down in the previous increment that I just did. Now, the reason why it went up is because the surface, it's on the white surface versus the gray. So, whoops. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I need to put a roof on here, and I think I could use the roof builder for this. So let me study for a second what's going on with our roofs. All right, so we have a 612 here and a 612 there. Even though they're on different surfaces, I think I could get it to work. Let's see. All right, let's make this its own group. So this line needs to come out to about there. And then this is going to be taller roof system. Oh, I did not want to lock that. I wanted to hide it. All right, so I'm gonna make that line up with the porch, because I believe that whole roof's covering the porch area. Okay. Just want to see if we got this going on right. Okay, so let's see if I can use the roof builder. So I go over here. This is the Valley Architects roof plugin. And I know it's a 612 roof, so I'm going to go here. I'm just going to select boxed in with fascia, and here I go to parameters, and it's already at 612. And then you tell it what eave style you want, and to do that, I'm just going to look at what they have here, and it looks just like a plumb cut soffitted. And the overhang, I believe, was, I know it's 6 inch on one end, but what was it on this eve end? Yeah, so 6 and 6 on both. And we'll give it a little trim piece too. And that is it. So now I just need to select my roof surfaces here. Make sure I got that. And let's see what happens. All right, that's almost correct. The only thing is we have a little turn here. So let's see. Okay, so I believe that's right here. Okay, let's see if we can fix this. Excellent. And there we go. We have our roof. The only thing is right here, it's not dropping down there, so I may have to clean that portion of it up. And okay, wait a minute, I see what's going on. So these are lining up. Okay, I may have to do some editing afterwards to clean that portion of it up, but that's not a big deal. And so what's going to happen is this is going to extend. And this again is where it comes in handy to use that intersecting faces with selection. And there's no line there, that's why it's not doing that. Okay. All right, so I think we're pretty good now. Just need to extend this piece out. There we go. All right. All right, so we're looking good so far. Just got to do a little cleaning up. Oh, let's try this again. And we have our fireplace. We'll have to go up there as well. And again, guys, you know, if you have any questions while I'm doing this, just let me know. Whether it's about this specific model or just SketchUp in general or whatever. And I'll try to answer it. Oh, something not right there. There we go. Okay, so far so good. Okay, we need this gable end. Okay. Just come out 6 inches there. Whoops, did not want to do that. There we go. Oh, let's undo that. So I'm just doing that so I can extend it at the proper angle. So I need these two gables to touch. Because if I try to extend it right there, it's going to go a funky angle. So if I just extend this to the other end and then go, now it's coming in the right angle. And let's go ahead and say intersecting faces with selection. And that may or may not work because, there we go. Okay, I may be able to clean this up here. All right. let's make sure we get this right. And you know what, before I do that, there's something I want to do here. So we see that these are popping up. Oops. These little gable ends are popping up above our roof. So what we're going to do, all right, so I'm going to line it up right in the center of that. Let's go up. And let's go ahead and rotate this. Let's see, let's reverse these faces. Okay, the reason why I want to do that right now is because I actually want to create some breaks here, and it's going to be easier to do it at this point. So I didn't want to do that. All right, so let's push these back in. Now I should be able to select everything here. Let's see if I pop it back into this group. Do the intersecting faces. And I think I could delete all this. Now the only thing is it's not connecting to, let's see, I want, let's see what's the best way to do this. I want it to connect to my wall here, but I don't know if I want to join all these layers at the moment. So let's keep that as it is for now. I'll come back to that. And in the rear, it looks like the same thing is happening back there as well. Just got to find out where my windows are. So it looks like they're actually right in the same spot. So that's good. So we're going to extend this just out over there. And we see here that it deleted that piece there. So that's why it's good to do that intersecting faces, because you see these lines are not, there's no line there, it's not intersecting. So if you intersect, then it kind of creates a break. So you can delete some of these lines without, you know, you can delete the ones you want and leave the ones you don't want. Alright, so I have to do a little bit more cleaning up here when I merge these two together, but you know, like I said, I'm not quite ready to do that just yet. And this I can also bring over. Okay. All right, so we're getting there. It's coming along, and let's see. I was trying to see how many minutes into this we are, but yeah, we're about an hour in. So starting from nowhere, and we're kind of moving along with it. So yeah, it looks good. So I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll start doing a little bit more with the windows and doors. So guys, again, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Give me that like. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. And I'll see you in a little bit. Thanks.